Good morning, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly. It's Monday, February 9th, 2026, and this is your AM Update.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her.
The search for missing 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie continues as investigators return to her home several times throughout the weekend, while her children make another direct plea to whomever took their mother.
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things. I looked at the beginning of it. It was fine.
A Trump Truth Social post sparks bipartisan backlash and a rare deletion. A terrifying crash for Lindsey Vonn, the Olympic legend airlifted off the mountain after her downhill run in Italy, comes to an end. And the Seattle Seahawks crowned the champs at last night's Super Bowl, the biggest plays, and the dueling halftime shows. All that and more coming up in just a moment on your AM Update. Feeling sluggish, bloated, not quite like yourself? Life constantly bombards us with silent threats. Processed foods, artificial light, nonstop stress, all of which can disrupt gut health, drain energy, and weaken immune health. When that happens, it's not that your body is broken, it's that it might be missing the right inputs. That's why I want to tell you about Armra Colostrum. It's packed with more than 400 bioactive nutrients that they say can work at a foundational level to fortify gut health, support immune health, fuel recovery, and promote whole body vitality. Strong gut integrity can support metabolism, skin and hair health, even performance and recovery, which is why colostrum has long been valued by some elite athletes as well. If you are looking to take back control of your health from the inside out, consider Armra. And they have a special deal for you now. Go to armra.com/Megyn or enter Megyn to get 35% off your first subscription order. That's armra.com/MEGYN. 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, mother of NBC News host Savannah Guthrie, now missing for more than a week, as investigators say no suspects, no persons of interest, no vehicles have been identified. New developments unfolding throughout the weekend, beginning Friday, when a second message, purportedly from the alleged kidnapper, was received by local Tucson station KOLD. Investigators have not publicly said whether they believe the new message is credible. The message reportedly does not share the same IP address as the original ransom note sent last week. However, it appears the sender used the same type of secure server to hide their IP address, according to KOLD anchor Mary Coleman, who also says the sender tries to make clear that they were behind the first ransom note as well. Retired FBI agent Jeff Bennett explaining on reporter Brian Enton's show what an IP address is and how it can be hidden with a virtual private network or VPN, making investigators' jobs more difficult.
There's a lot of talk of, these KFR, kidnap for ransom messages coming in. And quite simply, they are being, from what I understand, they're being communicated through email. And so that email is coming in through an IP address. And for the viewers, an IP address is quite simply a bridge. It's a bridge from a user to an endpoint. So an IP address is owned by a company. And so as the FBI, if I can determine where that bridge is and who owns that bridge, I can go to that company and I could say, hey, who's on the other side of that bridge? But the problem with a VPN is it's not just one bridge that I have to figure out. It's 1,000 bridges. So I have to cross one bridge and then I have to cross 1,000 other bridges.
So one of the local TV stations that received the first note and then the second note, their news director said the notes didn't come in through an email per se. They have like a form on their website where you can submit news tips. So you fill out your name, you fill out the subject, you fill out, you know what I mean? And then it's like a form on the website.
Yeah, so that's still going to use an IP address.
Also on Friday, 6 days into Nancy's disappearance, investigators discovering and removing another camera from Nancy Guthrie's property, this one from her roof. Later that day, investigators also towing away what appears to be a blue Subaru from Nancy Guthrie's garage. President Trump, Friday on Air Force One, updating reporters on the investigation conducted in tandem between the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI.
President, you promised Savannah Guthrie's family the full support of federal law enforcement. Well, FBI is now...
I'll give you a little statement. I think we're doing very well on that regard. You're probably surprised to hear that. I think we're doing very well. Very well, meaning we have some clues, I think, that are very strong. And I think we could have some answers coming up fairly soon.
Is this a nationwide search? Is this a search going to Mexico?
I'm not talking about a search. I'm talking about a solution. We have some things I think that will maybe come out reasonably soon from DOJ or FBI or whoever that could be
Suspect?
Yeah, it could be definitive. Yes. A lot's taken place in the last couple of hours. A lot of things have happened with regard to that horrible situation in the last couple of hours.
Exactly what the president was referring to remains unclear. On Saturday, Savannah and siblings Cameron and Annie releasing another video plea.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
KGUN now reporting the original ransom note demands $6 million due by 5 p.m. this evening. Late Saturday night, investigators entering Annie's home for several hours. Journalists on the scene report seeing camera flashes through the windows. The family reportedly moved elsewhere earlier last week. Yesterday, investigators returning again to Nancy's home, searching the backyard area. One investigator seen searching in what looked like an open manhole. It is unclear if the pipe leads to a septic tank, water storage, or some type of drainage pipe. Reporters also spotting a topographical map of the area used by investigators as the Pima County Sheriff's Department confirms searches underway in multiple locations. FBI Director Kash Patel reportedly set to arrive in Tucson today, though the Bureau says it was part of a pre-planned trip. Investigators have also not publicly clarified several unresolved questions, including the full data that has been recovered from Nancy's pacemaker, what proof exists that she actually returned home under her own power the night she disappeared, and whether any family members have been asked to submit to polygraph examinations. We'll bring you the very latest on The Megyn Kelly Show later today. A post on President Trump's Truth Social account sparking bipartisan backlash after briefly displaying an image depicting former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama with their faces superimposed onto ape bodies. The image appearing late Thursday in the final seconds of a video about alleged 2020 election fraud. At the end of that election fraud clip, a separate video appears to autoplay for roughly 1 second. The full autoplayed video, not posted on Trump's account, shows a number of Democrat political figures edited onto animal bodies, while the song The Lion Sleeps Tonight plays, with President Trump depicted as the lion. The brief frame captured from that autoplayed video showing the Obamas depicted as apes, quickly circulating online and drawing criticism from both Democrats and some Republicans. Senator from South Carolina Tim Scott, the only black Republican in the Senate, posting to X, quote, praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. Senator Pete Ricketts, Republican from Nebraska, posting, quote, even if this was a Lion King meme, a reasonable person sees the racist context to this. The White House should do what anyone does when they make a mistake, remove this and apologize. As backlash swelled, someone removing the post shortly before noon on Friday, the White House releasing a statement, quote, a White House staffer erroneously made the post. It has been taken down. President Trump Friday aboard Air Force One asked about the controversy.
Who sent it, and are you going to fire them?
I looked at it, I saw it, and I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud in someplace, Georgia. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of a picture that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either, but I didn't see it. I looked at the first part, and it was really about voter fraud and the machines, how crooked it is, how disgusting it is. Then I gave it to the people. Generally, they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody didn't, and they posted, and we took it down.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at thousands of things. I looked at the beginning of it, it was fine, but that was a takeoff on the Lion King, and a lot of people were covered on in different positions. So, but I spoke to Tim Scott. He was great. Tim is a great guy. He understood that 100%.
At
the very least, do you condemn the racist parts of the video?
Of course I do.
From there, the establishment media, including but not limited to ABC, CBS, NPR, and more, churning out headlines about Mr. Trump's refusal to apologize for the post. And of course, the controversy a focus of the Sunday shows yesterday. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries yesterday on CNN.
I do want to ask about a video that President Trump shared, a racist video, and it depicted former President Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama as apes. About 12 hours later, the White House blamed a staffer for the post, removed it, but the president says he doesn't need to apologize because he didn't make a mistake.
He definitively needs to apologize. It was a disgusting video, and the president was rightly and appropriately and forcefully denounced by people all across the country, Democrats and even a handful of Republicans who finally showed some backbone in pushing back against the president's malignant, bottom feeder-like behavior.
In the meantime, a clip of Texas State Representative Jean Wu, who was born in China, from a podcast in 2024 getting new attention this weekend after Elon Musk reposted it, writing, "Shame on him." Many pointing out the hypocrisy of those, including some on the right, who rushed to condemn President Trump for an errant post by a staffer that accidentally included a racist video, but who allowed this kind of anti-white racism to go unchecked all the time.
I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. Because we are the majority in this country now. We have the ability to take over this country and to do what is needed for everyone and to make things fair. But the problem is our communities are divided. They're completely divided.
The outrage over the president expected to continue until the next outrage, which will inevitably come any day now. Coming up, U.S. Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn in a shocking crash during her downhill run. And we have a Super Bowl champion. One of the biggest problems in American healthcare right now is access. You usually can't get medication until you're already sick. Healthcare should not only work when it is convenient for the system, though. It should work when people actually need it. And that's where All Family Pharmacy is different. They let you plan ahead by ordering prescription medications before you're sick. Wouldn't that be nice? You order online, a licensed doctor reviews your request and writes the prescription, and your medication ships straight to your door. Doesn't that make sense? Thanks to All Family Pharmacy, you won't be dealing with waiting rooms, insurance delays, last-minute scrambling, and they offer antibiotics, antivirals, Tamiflu, ivermectin, yes, and hundreds of other prescription meds. This is about access, responsibility, and being prepared, giving you the ability to plan ahead. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Megyn. Use that code Megyn10 to get 10% off your next order. Team USA skier Lindsey Vonn crashing just 13 seconds into her downhill run at the Winter Olympics in Cortina, Italy. Vonn's run, one of the most highly anticipated events of the Games, the 41-year-old returning from nearly 6 years in retirement, now competing with a partial titanium knee replacement in her right knee. On top of that, just 9 days before the race, Vonn crashing in Switzerland, rupturing her left ACL. Vonn choosing to stay in the competition, but adding a knee brace to the uniform. During yesterday's run, Vonn's right ski pole clipping a neon orange gate, sending her airborne before crashing hard back onto the mountain, briefly disappearing in a cloud of snow before tumbling to a stop. Medical crews securing Vonn in a gurney and airlifting her off the course. After an initial stop at a clinic in Cortina, she was transported to a hospital about 2 hours away where doctors say she underwent an orthopedic operation to stabilize a fracture in her left leg. U.S. Ski and Snowboard Chief of Sport Anouk Paddy telling the Associated Press, quote, "She'll be okay, but it's going to be a bit of a process. This sport is brutal, and people need to remember when they're watching that these athletes are throwing themselves down a mountain and going really, really fast." Vonn, a 4-time World Cup champion, had been favored for gold before the earlier ACL crash, saying before the race, quote, "This would be the best comeback I've done so far, definitely the most dramatic." Ultimately, Team USA's Breezy Johnson capturing the gold for America. Johnson earning Team USA's first gold medal of these Olympics, and becoming only the second American woman to win Olympic downhill gold, the first since Lindsey Vonn's win in 2010. As the American national anthem played and the stars and stripes were raised, Breezy, with her hand on her heart in the number one spot on the winner's podium, sang and held back tears. Perhaps unsurprising, but to many disappointing, these games seeing a number of Team USA athletes, not like Breezy, who are choosing to make political comments disparaging the country they are representing. Figure skater Amber Glenn, who identifies as bisexual and pansexual, whatever that is, becoming a prominent LGBTQ voice, asked about the Trump administration's approach to the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah, it's been a hard time for the community overall under this administration. It isn't the first time that we've had to come together as a community and try and fight for our human rights. And now, especially, it's not just affecting the queer community, but many other communities. And I think that we are able to support each other in a way that we didn't have to before. And because of that, it's made us a lot stronger.
Glenn notably not addressing the many countries competing in these games where same-sex relationships remain criminalized, nor did she indicate which rights gay people have lost under the Trump administration, which features several openly gay people in key positions. Yesterday, Glenn coming in third in the women's free skate portion of the team event. However, due to a strong performance from teammate Ilya Malinin, Team USA securing the gold. Former Team USA freestyle skier Gus Kenworthy now competing for Great Britain, partly because that team is easier to make, posting a vulgar anti-ice image to Instagram, appearing to show the phrase F ice written in urine. Kenworthy is set to compete in the halfpipe event beginning February 19th, where we certainly hope he'll lose. The strongest backlash coming against U.S. freestyle skier Hunter Hess after he made these comments at a Friday press conference.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot of people aren't. I think for me, it's more I'm representing my friends and family back home, the people that represent it before me, all the things that I believe are good about the U.S. I just think if it aligns with my moral values, I feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S. So yeah, I just kind of want to do it for my friends and my family and the people that support me getting here.
President Trump weighing in on Truth Social, writing, quote, U.S. Olympic skier Hunter Hess, a real loser, says he doesn't represent his country in the current Winter Olympics. If that's the case, he shouldn't have tried out for the team, and it's too bad he's on it. Very hard to root for someone like this. Hess is scheduled to compete February 19th in the men's freestyle halfpipe qualifiers. Any athlete unsure of how to handle political questions on the Olympic stage might look to 2020 freestyle wrestling gold medalist Tamira Mensah-Stock, following her victory in Tokyo.
I love representing the U.S. I freaking love living there. I love it, and I'm so happy I get to represent USA!
Last night, the Seattle Seahawks taking on the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60 at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Minutes into the game, the Seahawks striking first with a 33-yard field goal. Patriots quarterback Drake May sacked twice in the first quarter. In the second quarter, the Seahawks' Kenneth Walker, who had more twists and turns than a Harlan Coben novel, breaking off with 2 big first down runs, driving his team well into Patriots territory. The Seahawks taking a 9-0 lead into halftime. Puerto Rican reggaeton pop star Bad Bunny performing the halftime show, and you needed English captions to understand him, singing almost entirely in Spanish, Bad, or is it Bunny, did refrain from wearing a dress or making overtly anti-ICE statements as he has in the past, although given all the Spanish, we can't really be sure. Lady Gaga making a surprise appearance, singing in English, Thanks. Ricky Martin also joining for a brief song. Toward the end of the show, Bad Bunny saying in English, God bless America, and then listing off all countries on the American continents. Many on the right opting to turn the channel to Turning Point USA's All-American Halftime Show, featuring artists Kid Rock, Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and Gabby Barrett. Charlie Kirk Show producer Blake Neff reporting on X, the TP USA halftime show drawing more than 5 million concurrent viewers to its YouTube channel, with an additional million viewers on Charlie's channel, not to mention the other platforms it aired on. Singing under his real name, Robert Ritchie, Kid Rock closing out the show with Cody Johnson's Till You Can't, adding a special extra verse in a stunning performance.
There's a book that's sitting in your house somewhere that could use some dusting off. There's a man who died for all our sins, hanging from the cross. You can give your life to Jesus, and he'll give you a second chance till you can't take it. If you got a chance, take it while you got a chance.
The game resuming, and in the third quarter, the Seahawks racking up a fourth field goal, this one from 41 yards, bringing the score to 12-0. The fourth quarter saw Hawks QB Sam Darnold throw to tight end A.J. Barner for a 19-0 lead. New England then finally putting some points on the board, wide receiver Mac Hollins scoring the touchdown for a score of 19-7. But the Seahawks defense was just too much for the young Patriots quarterback and his offensive line. Another Seahawks field goal followed by a touchdown, the Patriots scoring one more time, attempting 2 extra points, but an incomplete pass, leaving the score at 29-13. The Seahawks winning their second Super Bowl, the Pats not putting up much of a fight. Owner Robert Kraft was seen yawning in the skybox, a response shared round the nation. And that'll do it for your AM update. I'm Megyn Kelly. Join me back here for the MK Show, live on SiriusXM's The Megyn Kelly Channel, 111 at noon East, on youtube.com/Megyn Kelly, and on all podcast platforms.